Welcome everybody, we're getting to this game. I hope you're all excited, for I am quite excited because we're in the start of the best of threes. And what a start it promises to be, because we're going to be spawning directly on top of alt.Sonic. Previously eFrag Sonic, but they merged with alt, is also previously VP Sonic. So I'm going to go ahead and say that his opponent is going to be none other than TSL.Revival, the pink Zerg in the top left. It is going to be a great series between these two players. I am pumped for this. All of you should be as well. And what you guys should also do is go to xanderfever.tv/vote and let us know who you think is going to be winning, because we've got two great players competing to get into the semifinals of the 51st North American Zotac Cup.
Now I'm really excited to see what these players are going to do on this map. Simply because there's quite a bit of distance between the two of them. So I'm going to expect, obviously, the standard out of Revival. Do you think we're going to see anything iffy out of Sonic, though?
I think he's going to play perfectly standard. I haven't seen him play in a long time since he was playing with VP, but I remember him being a really solid, scary, strong, normal macro Terran player. So I'm really expecting him to just go for perfect standard play and really give Revival a run for his money, because Sonic is scarily good, that stuff, if I remember correctly. But now we're just going to watch as Revival's going to be throwing down his hatch first. He did send out a pretty early scout. I think it was around a 12 drone scout, which is pretty much the earliest scout you can do safely in a ZVT. And hopefully you're okay, because you're lagging. Okay. So, yep, Tesla's having some issues. I'm not ref, I cannot talk, but let's go ahead and see what you guys are voting for at xanderfever.tv/vote, where you guys can go ahead and let us know who you think is going to be winning. It looks like right now 2/3 of the people are saying that Revival is going to be winning, which is an understandable vote. We've got Sonic saying, chill, get out. Oh, that is amusing, but right now, things are going to be looking interesting. It looks like Tesla is officially lagging out. I'm going to go ahead and just end the Skype call so you don't have that annoying sound. But it looks like she's about to be, yeah, she's going to be leaving the whole situation of the game shortly. A second, she probably gets zero, they're probably going to boot her. Alright, so now, there it is, Tesla's left the game. Looks like I'm going to go ahead and start solo casting for you guys, but that is the dedication of a true caster. Okay, so now we're going to have Revival just continue to drone up. That's what you're going to be doing. This drone is actually succeeding in doing a lot of damage, actually. If it goes one-on-one, it may actually win the battle against that SCV, but this SCV still has a fair bit of health left. Actually, both these SCVs have actually had a fair bit of damage done to them, almost enough to kill a single SCV together, but we're going to have a single, there we go. All we needed was one SCV, and there it happened. So that drone is now dead. Sonic's going to go ahead and get out his Marine. But the thing is, the drone saw no gas, which means that Sonic's most likely going for a gasless expansion. Because of that second supply depot that was put down, it kind of eliminates the 2 racks. And now we're seeing that Sonic will be throwing down his command center, so it is confirmed. Gasless expand against Revival is just hatchery first, and then the pool is perfectly standard. We'll probably see Sonic go for this first refinery along with the second one, yes. So, most likely, we're going to be seeing Hellions out of him, a reactor to Hellion play after the gasless expand, then couple that with Banshees to be aggressive, because when you go for this type of expansion, you have a double gas, and you have that capability to get out Banshees either with Cloak, or you can go for faster siege tanks, or both, one before the other. It's perfectly fine to go for the Banshees and then the siege tanks. You can still be quite aggressive with those builds. So Revival could be expecting this, and another possibility that we could have from Sonic is throwing down a third command center as well, with the Hellions and maybe even Banshees along with that, and still go for that third command center. It's very risky if we're going to go for that kind of a play, but it allows you to go for so much economy in the face of a very, very macro-happy Zerg. Because Revival could theoretically, if there's no Hellions going to be attacking him in the next couple of minutes, he could theoretically get a very quick third base. Right now it's actually, oh, we might have a Ling Roach bust coming from him. This is quite the fast Roach Horn. He could either be doing this to metagame the Hellions, or just go for a big Ling Roach push and try and just end the game with that. That would be incredibly aggressive against Sonic, and that could that could be really, really dangerous for Sonic to try and deal with, especially if Sonic's going to go straight for the Hellions and then straight for the Banshees and not have very many beefy units to go ahead and help him defend. But he does have a bunker out that will help him a little bit. He's working on his wall, and he's working on getting out a very nice defensive wall because he's doing it in front of the bunker. The bunker is not part of the wall itself. So things are looking solid defensively for him, and we do have the Roach Warren done, but not really any roaches on the field yet. We just have the drones increasing production. We're going to have you do have them eclipsing the count of those SEVs, but we could start those the production of the roaches out shortly. Just needs a little bit more minerals because he has enough gas to get down 4 or 5 roaches soon. Just a matter if that's going to be his choice of larva usage or not. But at the moment, just running forward. You do have the 4 roaches that have been already built at the start, apparently running around, which makes me look like a fool, but I'm perfectly fine with that, because now the roaches are running around. I was just apparently a little bit late on actually looking for that in the production tab and all that. The roaches are going to be running around. SCVs are going to get picked off a little bit, but these roaches are honestly not going to be able to do that much damage. Right now, the Marines are running faster forward to their doom than they really could have been. Right now, the Hellions doing a nice bit of splash damage. They'll be more than enough to deal with the roaches, but the roaches are going to be losing lives soon. They're kind of doing a little bit of damage, though, already. We see how trying to get the mule down, but not quite. The roaches have now been taken care of. Alright, so now we have more gases being added on. A couple of roaches were made just for more defense against the Hellions. As you can see, there's no spawn crawlers up. There's no third base out. So we could have Revival going for, looks like maybe even Mutaplay, as all 4 extractors are now taken. We have double Evo Chamber going down and Lair. So all of a sudden, Revival's going to be starting to get his tech out really quickly, but he could just take a third soon as well and just go for just basically normal Infested play or Mutaplay. Either a Lair choice would be perfectly acceptable. But now we're going to have Sonic going for the starport with the reactor on it. So he's going pure bio now, unless he can get a tech lab in this factory soon and start working on getting out his siege tanks. But he's got a fair count of Hellions out. 6 Hellions. It's going to be more than enough if he wants to actually run and start dealing damage to the line of drones immediately, because right now Revival is pushing forward. Looks like he's going to be a little bit safe and maybe go for the watchtower or something. But there is going to be all of those Hellions. Looks like they're actually being pushed back by just 2 roaches. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to have these Hellions running around, and with the upgrades moving down, the melee and the carapace going down, we're going to have Revival preparing for a pretty normal ZVT mid-game, and he's got his Macro Hatch going down, as well as the Infestation Pit, so we're going to see Infestors come out of him, but with only 2 bases now, he's going to need to get a third out fairly quickly. Well, he's probably going to go ahead and just send a drone over here fairly soon, but these Hellions are doing a good job of just maintaining map presence for Sonic in a very, very good, solid way. But Revival, he's continuing to go roaches, so it looks like he's actually going for mainly a roach infester composition. He was getting the melee attack, and a few lings are now starting to be produced, but he's really seems to be emphasizing those roaches more than normal. More than normal ZVTs really get done, but there's the pathogen glands beginning, and the drone is moving along, so we are going to see a 10-minute third base. Nothing wrong with that. I like the fact that he sent down those roaches to make sure that there are no Hellions there to stop this third from being taken. But as for the third of Sonic, I don't see any signs of him going for his. He's actually choosing to go for mostly bio units. We're having, a lot of Marauders are in place, going basically Hellion and Marauder against the Ling Roach Infestor, which could actually have a great benefit to him to be really annoying, because we do have the Hellions from one side and the Marauders and Marines coming down from the other side. And with the Medivacs in play, these are going to be very hard to kill. The Marauders can take a lot of damage, but with the Infestors with their fungal growth along with the Roach and Ling DPS, those Marauders can be caught in a terrible position and then just wrecked. But the macro of both players is pretty even right now. Sonic may even be considered ahead because he's Terran and has basically the same food as Revival. Starting to actually poke ahead in that food count, but the damage is actually getting done right now as the creep spread is getting decimated, and there's not really much of an answer to the Medivacs right now. Theoretically, the Infestor would be used against them, but there really is not a large Infestor count yet. We see more in production right now, but there you see a nice fungal going down. We have Lings and everything attacking. The Hellions are actually doing a good job of tanking damage. The Marauders, though, are going to get hit by a lot of the Lings. The Hellions are no longer there, so these Lings are going to become super effective, and I mean that in the Pokemon sense. And then we're going to see Sonic being forced to retreat. A lot of his units back. Looks like the Infestors here just have a single fungal, but now we have the third base for Sonic almost completing, but there's already a bunch of creep being pooped onto the expansion that Sonic would be wanting to take. And unfortunately, Sonic did actually not manage to do that much damage. We have a ton of drones in production. So the drone count is now going to be increasing to 57, 56 now to 52 SCVs. It's actually pretty even, but more and more drones are going to be completed shortly. As far as the income goes, we have the third base income of Revival going to be hitting in soon, as this distribution of drones will be helping out a lot in terms of the income, because we see right now it looks like a little oversaturated in the natural, and in the main we have also a little overly saturated. Wow, so Revival should be taking 6 of those drones and send him to this third base, but right now he's just going to go ahead and start macroing around, and he has a healthy mix of units, but he's actually doing a good job of looking out for these drops. It looks like this medevac has gotten fungled a little bit, and we're going to have this next base being taken a second, and this is a thinner choke, I think, than previous versions of the map. I haven't noticed that they actually changed this, because you have a lot more destructible rocks, or actually just plain rocks, and weird crevices over here. I almost say weird crevasse over there. That's a terrible joke. Ah, look at this burrowed Zergling too. Burrowed Zergling is going to be there to be further annoying. So Revival's going to be able to stop his command center from being landed even with the creep receding. That's actually a really nice move by him. It's so annoying and frustrating to try and deal with that. But now we're going to have all these things trying to push forward. That the carapace upgrade that's oh so key. Sonic doesn't have his vehicle weapons upgrade yet, so these Lings are going to be able to stay alive with their 1 hit point left, even in the face of the siege tank that is trying to one-shot and kill them. Still, the upgrade for Sonic is producing, though he hasn't started anything for his vehicle attacks. He has his, right now, his 2-1 researching. His +1 attack is already completed, but Revival is going to be really focusing on getting onto a lot of extractors. We can see how that is being done. It looks like his hive is completed as well, and his hive is going to be used to get, never mind, that's not a Spire. First thing I thought he was going to be going for a weird timing on the Broodlords, but he is going for the adrenal glands, which is very nice to see. There's no neural parasite or anything, but we do have a large force of Ling Roach Infestor moving down the map. It looks like they're going to go ahead and start being annoying, but we have Zerglings there in various bases just burrowed. But interestingly enough, not over here, even though Sonic could take that for his next base. Sonic's just getting down a bunker. Looks like he's being forced to play pretty defensively. Take a look at the spread of his units. He's trying to be as defending against fungals as he can, but it looks like he may be wanting to push out right now. His macro is really going solidly, especially considering how Revival has so much gas income. We're going to see a lot of tech coming out of Revival. He's already got a fair amount of infestors out. 9 infestors is nothing to be shy about, but he hasn't really started using his Ultra Tech yet, because his Hive Tech was started a little bit late, considering he just used adrenal glands at first. But now we're going to have Sonic. Look like Sonic's going to be pushing out to go ahead and go for a big attack. And there we're going to see this big engagement happening of all the units. We're going to see some no fungals actually being thrown down yet, but these Lings are doing a lot of damage. The infestors are lagging behind. Sonic is splitting nicely, but now we're going to have some of those infested Terran being dropped, but Sonic is doing a ton of damage right now. There's fungals landing and everything, but there's just a ton of DPS. The medevacs are making units just not die. The fungals are doing a good job, but Sonic just did a fair amount of damage to Revival, but the problem is Revival's remaxing much faster. We got 64 Lings coming from him. We can see how the units lost is actually, wow, I completely misread that. I thought Revival was investing more than he did, but Sonic ended up actually taking a healthy amount of damage, and the food counts went from being even to being in favor of Revival. I thought Revival had invested more in that because there were so many of those roaches that were getting picked off, but now we're having Ultralists coming in. They're going to be 3-3, but we just saw a sacrificial tank. That's something that Sonic really does not want to be giving, but these Marines are just right now running around, scanning and taking down the creep tumors and preventing that vision of Revival's once 3-3 Lings come out, first off, they already have the crackling upgrade with that adrenal glands being done. So they're going to be really very dangerous for Sonic to try and deal with. And Sonic hasn't gotten any other bases out. And we take a look at his natural, he's lost a couple of mineral patches there, and his main is basically gone as well. He's actually done a good job of keeping it alive as long as he can, so he has a very nice distributed income, but once we see those patches starting to get erased fairly soon, his income is going to plummet. That's going to be a real sign that he's got to take another base, but there's a Ling here looking around, and there's a Ling over here looking around for those bases to be taken as well, and now we've got a ton of fluorescent pink Banelings. Oh, the Banelings with their very shiny butts. Before 5 actually ultras, we got the fifth one lagging along. Now we see him moving in one by one, with though they're going to be starting doing so much damage. Sonic's army is completely out of position. So now we're going to have Revival pushing forward with all those Banelings. We could just see this wall getting decimated. They are starting to attack, but here's a unit from Sonic up in the top. They're going to start engaging. There are Banelings getting their nice explosions against all those Marines. They're engaging perfectly, and now we have the Link switching forces starting to look really bad for Sonic as his army is getting wrecked, and GG gets called. Game number 1 is going to be going to TSL.Revival after a very nice macro game, very solid attacking, and just great engagement on his part. Sonic gets taken out, unfortunately for him, but we're going to have game 2 come up next, because this is the best of 3 in the quarterfinals of the North American Zotac Cup in number 51.
Replay saved.